Around the world, our climate is changing. Water, whether too much or too little, is often the heart of the problem. Climate change is hitting poor communities hardest.
During the dry season, it takes 6 hours a day to gather water.
After the drought, our family lost 2.5 acres of corn and 2.5 acres of rice.
Rita and Katrina was what destroyed my house.
During the wet season, it rains day and night, day and night.
When it floods, the water gets extremely contaminated.
In the future, with more changes in the climate, there will be more droughts.
Because of the climate change, drought almost happen every year with the different level of severity, and the people suffer a lot.
I'm highly concerned about global warming and the impacts of climate change. The weather changes make it hard to determine when it is time to plant crops.
Southeast Asia is known for its floods, but the unpredictable rainfall caused by climate change has also led to devastating droughts. In Vietnam, farmers who depend on rainfall to irrigate their crops struggle to earn a living and feed their families. The situation is especially difficult in the Ba Khai district in the Nhan Thuan province. This area has the hottest temperatures, least rainfall, and some of the worst poverty rates in all of Vietnam.
Ba Khai is one of the 61 poorest districts in the country, which received the special attention by the government. More than 60% of the people in this district is living with the income less than $12 per month.
I have lived here for more than 30 years and my family is a farming family. I'm highly concerned about global warming and the impacts of climate change, because it has not only affected me, but also my community. Everybody is affected.
The Raklay people, an ethnic minority who make up most of the Ba Khai population, are among the hardest hit.
My husband and I have a rice field, but we do not get much from it. We have 5 months of dry season and just 2 to 3 months of rainy season. Sometimes it rains too much, sometimes it rains too little.
While many Vietnamese people are accustomed to managing floods, the Raklay people find dealing with droughts to be the real challenge.
Climate change affects the people here, especially those who depend on agriculture for their incomes. When it's too sunny, there is no grass for the cows. Rice and corn die when there is too much sun. The water resources are drying out.
After the drought, our family lost 2.5 acres of corn and 2.5 acres of rice. We lost 2 cows. People didn't have fresh water, so we had to take the water from the stream, which is a little more than a half-mile walk from here. The quality of the water was bad. It caused skin diseases and stomach illnesses.
The Raklay people are working to adapt to harsher growing conditions. With the help of the government, they're bringing more clean water to their communities. And they're learning how to cultivate crops and raise animals that can survive dry spells.
When this reservoir is completed, we can be in more control, increasing the water for irrigation when it is needed, or reducing it when it is not.
The local government provides the construction of the big reservoir, and from Oxfam side, we support them with the training to the local people to enable them to manage the water system effectively.
The local farmers are growing hardier crops like certain varieties of rice, cashews, and corn.
In the morning, my wife and I work on the rice field. and later we work in the cashew garden. Most of our food comes from the rice field. Oxfam's training show us a technique for growing rice. I know more now. Before, I didn't know when it was the best time to plant the rice seeds in the ground and when to stop planting.
And in Bakai, they're also raising different breeds of livestock, which need less water and fodder.
My name is Pinan Quinn. I'm 22 years old. I'm a cow farmer. I don't have much education because my parents are poor. I'm happy to have the cow. When she gives birth, life will be easier. I chose to raise a cow because it's easier to take care of than other animals. The cow is surviving the dry season better here. I have to feed other livestock and give water 3 to 4 times a day. But for the cow, it's only 2 times a day.
For communities that have worked the land for generations, these strategies have helped make responding to the changing climate conditions easier. Using their new skills, the reservoir and irrigation canals, farmers can continue to provide for their families doing what they know best, farming.
We are learning how to adapt as the climate changes. Now we are beginning to understand how to change our farming and crops. People are learning better ways to plant and raise livestock. All this has contributed to increasing the incomes of the local people.
When this reservoir is completed, it will ensure people's survival.
The water that comes out of the tank is drinkable and healthy.
The lift houses that we're building can sustain Cat 5 hurricanes.
If you're asking me what I wish, it's to get enough rain and grass and pasture. I wish to become self-sufficient.
Join the world's poorest people in their fight against climate change.